Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me for this Divine Feminine Twin Flame reading. Thank you so much again for all of your likes, shares, subscribes, comments, and all of your messages as well that you send me. So much love to all of you, love and blessings at this time. This is an amazing, amazing reading. I want to say a special thank you to all my clients as well. Love you guys. It's such a privilege to connect with you all. I know I don't say that enough on here, but you guys are so special. Anyway, also a special thanks to everyone who's donated. I am really pleased to say that I will be able to do sessions and readings for the next 2 weeks as well. If you haven't checked out my last 2 videos, I did one for the Divine Masculine, and I also did one on negative energies. Please, please, please check those out. They were really powerful videos, both of them. I'm not just saying them because I did them, I'm saying them because literally the energy coming from them was massive, and it's really important to hear those messages. Unfortunately for the Divine Masculine reading, it's audio only. I did have some problems with the video. They have been fixed, like the issues I've got myself, the tripod is fine now, so I can do the video. The cards were absolutely amazing today. I was really, really shocked to see that nearly every single card in this Divine Feminine spread is a major arcana. I was really, really surprised. Aside from 3, everything else, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them are major arcanas. And 2 extra cards actually came out of the deck as well. So before I did it, I didn't actually feel like, oh, I had like a burning desire or anything to do the Divine Feminine reading. The Divine Masculine one felt like there was a lot going on. But from the cards that have come out for the Divine Feminine, I can definitely say that it's a time where it's still a really important time, but the Divine Feminine, whether you know it or not, you're in a very, very powerful position right now. This is a sort of level of power and calmness and alignment that many people, especially, I mean, obviously this is a general reading and it does depend on what wave you are, if you want to call it a wave. It depends on where you are in your journey, but there are messages here for everyone who's watching. At least that was the intent and the prayer before doing the reading. And in terms of the collective energy for many, many twins, many people watching this reading, many Divine Feminines, you guys are kind of we are all enjoying a level of calmness, power and alignment that we've not felt for an incredibly long time, and many of us we've not felt since being on this journey. So enjoy that while it's here, because things are changing all the time. So the only thing that we have right now is the present moment. The present moment is amazing. It's very auspicious, and let's go with it and appreciate it and be thankful. So on with the reading. So where the Divine Feminine was recently, in the recent past, we have the Tower card. Again, this to me is a card, this turned up in the Divine Masculine reading as well. I believe it was in the position where how they were feeling towards the relationship and the union. For me, like I said in that reading as well, the Tower is never really a bad card. The Tower is actually very often a card of divine intervention, a card that of real powerful deep down transformation. And if you can just surrender and go with it and really kind of take the messages and go with the flow, it's very, very, it's not just very beneficial, it's also, it can be quite exhilarating. It's one of the quickest ways of getting to where you want to get to. And also it's kind of like these people, as you can see, that they are falling from the Tower. It's a great way of kind of freeing yourself from the ego. If you think that the ego is the Tower here and this is the divine intervention, these guys are just surrendering to it. And they are, I mean, even if it's quicker than the stairs, it's quicker than if they were going to go down the stairs and escape, any other way. It's and also the way that the top is coming off this the top of the Tower. It's also kind of symbolic of what happens when the Kundalini energy kind of rises up the spine as well, up the Sushumna Nadi, and kind of it's almost like a fountain that comes from the top of the head, sort of thing. So basically, it's a very spiritual process and a very spiritual time if you allow it to be, and it can be very exhilarating as well. Like, a massive wave might seem very scary to certain people, but if you're skilled enough and you're a big wave surfer or whatever, that's exactly what you want most of the time. So, and it's also a good way to kind of strengthen. So the divine feminine, many of us have kind of mastered that a certain stage of our lives. And now we are here, the present moment, we have the Sun card, which I absolutely love because, again, it is officially, this is the most auspicious card in the deck. And this is where we are right now. This symbolizes a real kind of blossoming, a real blooming, and a real kind of celebration. It's warmth, it's vitality, it's kind of also alignment. It's being exactly where you need to be. This is there's also so much promise in this card. It's a child, you know, it's this baby, and just think about all the promise, think about all the sort of these sunflowers in the background full of seeds as well. There's so much life, there is so much promise in this card. So, and the horse is kind of coming straight towards you, so it's kind of more good stuff is very much on its way. Really bask in the rays and the grace that is around you right now, because there is a lot of it and it's right in front of you. You know, it's the sun right in front of you. So really kind of go with it and enjoy the present moment. And there is, even though this is a child, this child is very quickly going to turn into the Empress, which is the card for the near future. Absolutely amazing. There's still more fertility that here. This is, you know, there's more just abundance, and the fact that the crops here are ready to be harvested. It's almost like you're on your way to being where you want to be, because when you're the Empress, you are kind of the archetypal divine feminine kind of energy, and that's what's going to happen. And I'm also very much getting the energy that when we are here, this is where physical union is going to happen for a lot of people, but the process has kind of been set into place already. So in the near past, in the recent past, the energy was kind of cleared away for it, and then in the present we've got the fact that it's now all in alignment and it's going to happen, and in the near future that's when it does happen. In terms of the advice for the divine feminine, you've got the Hanged Man, but the Hanged Man is in reverse. And in terms of when you look at him, can you see how it almost looks like he's jumping up, and he's very much illumined. And this way up, I'm just being more than the traditional meaning of the card, I'm just being drawn to how he looks like he's dancing, how he actually doesn't look like he's passive. He actually looks like he's very active. He looks like he's very much going with the flow, but he's also being very, what's the word? The energies, the life energies are being assisted by gravity to ascend, to help him ascend, ironically, even though he's upside down. So I'm getting the very much the energy of kind of spiritual advancement, spiritual ascension. Enjoy it. The message is to enjoy it, and don't feel like you're hanging upside down and you have to be powerless. It's actually part of the dance. So I'm getting from the Hanged Man being upside down, I'm actually getting a sense of don't just be passive at this moment. Whatever situation you're in, really use it for your ascension. Whatever has happened when you basically at one time, the divine feminine was like this, and there wasn't really much that she thought she could do, but that process was actually very much there to encourage the process of ascension. That's kind of happened now, and now it's about using that, being appreciative of it happening for a reason, and now enjoying it as a dance, like as a celebration, and being active, actually, you know, moving, whether that be mentally, physically, energetically, whatever. So it's a happy card. Be joyful, basically. How the divine feminine feels towards the relationship. Now, this is one card where it's a bit split because it came upside down. The Hermit was upside down for some people, but for other people, the Hermit is the right way up. And what that means is, or that's the feeling that I got. And what that means is, for those of you who it's more of this way, more upside down, This is kind of, you are looking more towards the divine masculine, and this changes for different people, and this is where you have to listen to, for any reading, especially my readings, I encourage you to listen to your own intuition. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. I shouldn't have to say this. I feel like a broken record saying it, but you should really all know to do that. And when it's upside down for those people, they're still looking towards the divine masculine. They're still scrutinizing the divine masculine. They're shining their light on him. And then the people that it came the right way up for, they are still, those who it came upside down for, they might actually want to reach out and actually contact the divine masculine for whatever reason. Those of you who it came the right way up for, or it applies to when it's the right way up, you guys are looking more towards yourselves at this moment, shining the light on yourselves, finding the sun within yourself. There is a lot of sun imagery here. There's this imagery for the divine feminine. There's imagery for, you know, the lovers. There's imagery for the fool down here. So lots going on. But those of you who are still in the hermit stage, it's all about self-inquiry. You still need to look for yourself, to yourself, and you're not feeling like reaching out to the divine masculine. Even those of you who it did come up for upside down, you might not necessarily want to reach out to your divine masculine in the same way as before. That's a big theme right now. That kind of chaser energy, for many of you who are watching this reading, and for whom this reading applies, that chaser energy has transformed. That was actually one of the main transformations that was happening with this tower energy. Now it's more just about being, and soon it's going to be about expressing in a much more powerful way. Right now it's more about enjoyment. This is more about you actually enjoying that power and being and emanating that power. It's almost like here you're enjoying the sun, here you're actually the Empress is like, she is the sun sort of thing. And the more you can dance with the energies that have already happened, again, I'm seeing the sun mirrored here in these two cards, the more you can do that, the quicker you're going to get to this Empress energy. So it's all about celebration. It's all about kind of surrender and being very aligned. The other thing I'm getting with this this Hanged Man upside down card, can you see how aligned he is with the tree, with what's actually kind of behind him and what's actually kind of supporting him? So whatever is there around you, that is your support, your circumstances, basically. Just embrace them, go with it, and then you'll be able to dance no matter what situation you're in. And that's a symbol of mastery in itself. So, you know, you have to choose what you have. So accept your situation, and the quicker you'll turn into the Empress. What does the divine feminine want to say to the divine masculine? Sorry, I have to go back for a second. And that's where the Hermit comes in, to help you understand the relationship between your situation, what you're doing, and how you can become the Empress. That's where the Hermit comes in as well. If you don't know how, you have to look within yourself. And if you do know how, you'll know how to progress. So I hope that wasn't confusing for you, but this is a general reading. So what does the divine feminine want to say to the divine masculine? We have the Lovers, another beautiful card here. And the divine feminine, for the most part, whether you're thinking about your divine masculine twin flame, or whether you've chosen to go with a high level karmic partner and it's still a divine relationship, what you consider to be a divine love relationship, this card applies, and you have made a very clear choice with your path, and you know, or you will know very soon, the energies definitely support you knowing and choosing a certain person right now, and you're going to want them to know that you choose them, whether that's in your mind or if that's in the physical, or whether that's energetically. That union, the one that you can't get out of your mind, the one that you have chosen, it's also very divinely kind of protected, divinely blessed, divinely ordained for many people. So really accept it, really choose that. It's an authentic relationship. These people are both naked, they're both completely free, and whatever's around them, they're kind of untouched by it because they have this divine protection. They don't need to worry about anything. Even though there's fire here, there's a snake here, they're completely fine. They're very safe. They feel very safe and secure. They know it. They're both, you know, he's looking towards her, she's looking towards the divine. That's another thing that's very, very pertinent for many divine feminines who are watching this. You have to always focus on the divine. It's almost like there's a triangle kind of energy going on here. So have faith in the divine. And yes, the divine feminine wants to say that they love the divine masculine, whoever their divine masculine might be. So really embrace that love vibe right now and forget about all the rest of the stuff. Any fear, doubt, kind of. Also, it's meaning that a lot of the kind of the feelings of the past where the divine feminine maybe was still angry at the divine masculine, that's kind of moving. All of that energy is kind of, it's the unconditional love that's really shining through more and more and more. What has the challenge been for the divine feminine? Now, this is interesting because all of these 3 cards came out. So we've got Judgment, we've got the Fool, and we've got the 7 of Cups, which was the first non-major arcana to come out. And let's look at the 7 of Cups first. So in terms of a challenge, this is confusion. There has been a lot of confusion and a sense of being a little bit overwhelmed by choice, not knowing what to do for a lot of divine feminines. Not all of you, but many of you. And it's interesting because it really does tell a story when all of these 3 cards come out together as well. Let's look at this card a little bit more. You can see that this guy, this person here, this figure has so many different things in front of them, and they just don't know what to pick, what they should go for or what they want to go for. Those are 2 different things anyway. Like that's a confusion in itself. What's true, what isn't, what's good, what's bad, they just don't know. So that's been coming up for people in various different stages. They might have thought that they had gone through that and made their decision, and then the confusion could have come back. And that's fine, because that happens until you really do have the sort of faith in your own decisions. And that's where the Fool comes in. The Fool is all about having faith. The Fool is kind of pure innocence, pure, it's also 0, and 0 is kind of like nothing. And that nothing means there's no outside interference. And it's about also, in this sense, in this particular placing, trusting your intuition. It's about really kind of going with your own guidance. Can you see how he's got his eyes closed and he's looking up, and he's just about to take this leap of faith? He's got the dog, he's got the flower, he's got the sun, and these are all kind of things that are there to support him because they're all behind him, and the only thing that's leading him is himself. And it's almost like his heart is what is kind of leading him. So that's that. And then the other thing here we have is Judgment. And this is kind of really listening to the call. Many of these people also have their arms outstretched. It's very like leaving their hearts very exposed. And this guy here, he's kind of got his hands in prayer, which again is all about the heart chakra, and connecting with that, and really connecting with God and embracing the divine, or the divine connection, the universe, whatever you want to call it, and heeding the call. So when all of these come together, it's all about intuition. And what I'm also guided to say is, if it's many people kind of don't know, the challenge has been for them to listen to their own intuition rather than listening to other people. And if anyone wants to do sessions over this coming week or the next week, that's what I'm going to be focusing on. It's all going to be about helping you to get in touch with your own intuition. I'm still going to be doing them on a donation basis, but please don't get that twisted and think that, you know, you can waste my time and not give anything for it, because that's not what it's there for. That's not what I'm about at all. So please be responsible for your decisions, because it's not good karma to kind of, you know, waste anyone's time. So bear that in mind, but I will be offering those for sessions. If you're interested, do just drop me an email, because that seems to be a big challenge for many people right now. And I'm not about telling you guys what to do at all. I'm just about giving you certain messages. These are all general readings, so whatever resonates with you. You know, when you listen to something and you think, oh yeah, that definitely, I feel that, I vibe with that, like that's what it basically is, and I can help you do it more. So if you'd like that, then get in touch. For those of you who this applies for. What have you guys been doing well? We've got the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands here symbolizes really taking control, embracing new beginnings, and doing the things that you want. I'm also putting yourself, like you are number one, like putting yourself first and doing what you need to do for yourself in a way, and taking your power in a way that you've not done before, or not, it's just coming up to another level basically. So well done for doing that, creating the change that you want to see, being the change that you want to see, and being authentic, being a very deep, authentic, energetic, on an energetic kind of level, a very subtle level, looking at things that about yourself that maybe you didn't want to look at before, starting anew. It's almost like being reborn anew, but you're creating yourself anew. And this has been done consciously to a much more strong level than it has been done before. So that's what I'm getting from this. Well done, Divine Feminine. And the underlying, it's interesting because there haven't been any swords in this reading, but the underlying energy for the whole thing has been the Knight of Swords. He's a fast moving knight. He's a very he just goes after what he wants. He's very fast moving. He's also extremely sharp, and he's very good at cutting himself and cutting other people loose. So it's very much, and I'm really seeing a lot of freedom, elevation, with these birds here. And again, it's a number 4, which is stability. So this, even though it's a very fast moving energy, it's going to get you to a place of stability. It's being guided by stability. It's going to lead to 4 is also a number that's associated with earth, the earth element, and it's going to lead to more stability and an actual kind of bringing down of those union energies into like the physical. So that's what's happening right now, but it's happening via thinking. For many people, it's people changing perceptions, changing the way that they view things, and that is leading to that transformation, because obviously everything's connected and everything's holistic. So amazing stuff. The Knight of Swords is very agile as well, so it really is going to be like mental kind of acrobatics in terms of how you view things, how creative you are, how adaptable you are. And he's also kind of going, if you can look here, it looks like the trees are going this way. He's kind of going against the grain. He's kind of going against the wind, and he's charging straight for it. So he's also very brave, and he's not afraid. He's got a lot of clarity. He knows exactly where he's going. So he's almost got like a fiery energy with him as well. But all of this red shows that, you know, because those are the colours that he's wearing, and they're very grounding colours and very vital colours as well. They're very physical. So the outcome, whatever he's looking at, the goal, the reason he's doing it is to ground it. Ground his ideas, ground his visions, ground his wishes. So that's all really, really good stuff. Sorry about that. I just got interrupted by the phone ringing, and that is a bell. And in traditional, you know, in Hindu temples and stuff, whenever you say a prayer or have a wish, and someone, because they all have these little bells all over the place, and whenever someone rings the bell, it's basically a sign to say that your wish or your desire is going to come true. The Knight of Swords, who I was just talking about when the phone rang, I was just saying that his wish is he's going after it because he can see it and it's going to happen. So there you go. There's another lovely message from the divine. So let's leave it there. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me until the end of the reading. Please do subscribe